Welcome to Sacred Success Salon, where we are talking about how to own your power, live your purpose, and claim your prosperity. It's 2020 and it's time, which is why we are bringing you a beautiful series of amazing conversations for you to step into your purpose powerfully. My name is Anna Kowalska. I am a soul purpose catalyst and prosperity catalyst. And today I am so excited to be here with my friends, colleague. So excited to welcome Patricia Misakian. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for having me, Anna. Always a pleasure to be here with you.
Yeah, I'm so excited. You were our guest at the very first Sacred Success Salon, and we had to bring you back because, at first, because I love you and your work is so powerful. And we had such a great response to your topic and the way you presented it that we just absolutely had to have you back. So, everybody who doesn't know Patricia yet, let me just tell you who she is and why, on top of being my friend, she actually gets to share her wisdom with you here today. So, Patricia is the founder of Akashic Records Institute. She's a thought leader, international speaker, trainer, and mentor. And over the years, her work has included training healers, coaches, and a whole bunch of other people how to develop their intuition, how to decode messages found in the Akashic Records, and how to help them discover their soul purpose and then transform their lives and the lives of their clients through the Akashic Records. So, guess what we're talking about today? Welcome, Patricia.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Always an honor.
yeah, so great. I love it. All right, so let's talk about Akashic Records. And for everybody who's watching right now, who maybe has heard of Akashic Records, but isn't exactly clear on what it is, or maybe the people who haven't heard about it yet, and I know there are still many out there, could you just give us a description of what Akashic Records are and why we need to know about the records?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So the Akashic Records is basically a collection of all your memories, experiences, and agreements, consciously or unconscious, that you make with yourself or others. So if you think about, if I ask you, to think about a memory that you had when you were like 8 years old or 10 years old. So maybe something will come up, like you naturally have access to your memories from this lifetime and pieces of past lives, or even the memories from your ancestors, the people that you grow up with, that naturally absorb their energy. So basically, like, you tell me, like, so what? Right, so what happens is, every time we are creating experiences, we are making memories. In a minute this will be a memory, right? Our beautiful conversation.
Yep.
But what happened is, when you have a particular experience, today, last week, when you were a child, past life, we all make an assumption, make an interpretation of what we think is happening based on our perspective. And when that experience somehow, we experience like some sort of dissonance, like, someone got hurt, or we got hurt, or something didn't go in the way that you wanted to go, what we do, our minds and get that particular experience and create a trigger, let's say a blockage in your body, that anytime you try to take empowered action in the future, holds you back and say, hey, goes into your Akashic record. Oppa, look over here. See, it didn't work when we did it last time. So let's not even try. And that's why there is today so many amazing people, amazing talents,
Hmm.
and people give up even before they try. So when you work with the Akashic Records, you are able to, it's in the way that I see, it's one of the most powerful healing tools that can allow you to see where you want to go in your life, and, and the reason that why you haven't created that experience for yourself, and be able to, go back to those memories and clear those old agreements, those, whatever the trigger is that is holding people back.
Hmm. I love that. So for people who, I know it happens so often where when people, our clients, just don't remember, right? Like we try to go into memories like in many different ways, but they just like, I don't remember. I know I hear it so often. I don't remember my childhood,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So Akashic Records would be a tool that one can go then and use to uncover a memory.
Absolutely. And you can do it yourself. You can learn how to access your own Akashic records so you can, clear those interpretations.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go to a practitioner and have someone access your Akashic records to help you, like with your permission, of course. But you can actually hire someone to do it for you. You can go both ways.
Yeah, I love it because I learned Akashic Records from you. I learned how to use Akashic Records in my business. And one of the ways to use Akashic Records is to go back into memories, to clear anything that's holding us back, which is so powerful. But what I really want to talk about today is using Akashic Records to create the future,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
right? Like I know I use, and I shared with you last time, I still do it. I open the records, I say the prayer, the same prayer you shared with me before every interview. I opened the records before I even started creating this third salon,
Mm-hmm.
right? So let's talk about how we can use Akashic Records to help us create the future.
Absolutely. So, and like we just talked about, you can go back, see what
Mm-hmm.
is not working in the present, or create the future that you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to create. And when we talk about future, it's very important to understand the difference. Like when you come for record session, it's important to understand that the future is not set in stone. Like there is gazillion, possible ways that the future can happen. But when you are aligned with, what you want, the possibility that is the most favorable for you, you can take empowered action to create that future.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like, and it is true, like everything is possible,
Mm-hmm.
what it is that you want. And anytime you have a desire, like, ooh, it would be fun to speak on a stage, or ooh, it would be fun to, I don't know, like offer, those of you that are offering a training or something, it would be fun to have 100 people sign up in my first training. Everything is possible. But again, it's those unconscious fears and blockages that block that to show up in your life. The opportunity is the solution. It's always around you, but you need to be in the right vibration to actually be able to actually see that solution and make that train stop and say, stop, I want that. And then, clear what is not true so you can actually create that you wanted to create.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely.
I love what you just said, and I want to go deeper. You have to be in the right vibration of what it is that you are creating in order to see the solution. And let's talk about that, because I think it's talked about, yet still people are missing how to really have that present for them. Like, what do you do with that, right? So let's talk about, what does it mean to be in the right vibration to see the solution for whatever it is you're creating?
Of course. Well, can I give an example? I think it's easier. That is, I you may, those of you that are watching may know me, international business, which means is because I'm from Brazil, I have one business that is the same business that is all in Portuguese, and another one that is, everything is in English. And because of country regulations, when I created my business in, a few years ago, and I wanted to go into the market in Brazil, it's like off the start was amazing. Like the results like exploded. And I wasn't living there, so I had this whole situation where I needed my mother to get paid for me, so it was a little complicated, right? And then I ended up having to, and it was a lot of money, so she was saying like, now you need to create a company, and I created a company. So we created this huge process, which was very complicated. Imagine having to work with your mother.
Yeah. And money involved in it too. Like, it's going to bring up a whole lot of stuff.
And It was very interesting, yes. So 2 years into that business, and with all the complications that came from that choice, um, I found a solution that was always been there, which is the system that I use now, which is it's an international company. So now I was able to actually close the company in Brazil, and we only have one company, the Akashic Records Institute here. And then this solution, I get paid here from what comes there. And it's just, eliminated a huge amount of, systems that needed to put in place. So this is an example, right? When I created the business, I wasn't ready to see that solution. And actually, it was very interesting when I found out about the solution. I'm like, how come I never heard about this? And it was in that business was created like within the same time that my business was created.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's a great example to like, it was there, so it was always been there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love to use that example because it happens with so many people. When when you're not ready, you create confusion, you block yourself from seeing that opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and of course, today I understand that I still had some things to clear with my mother, that because of that opportunity, we got the chance to clear and we are done. And so it's kind of like, but then open up, we resolve what needed to be resolved, and then the solution show up. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. Everything is already around you. Whatever it is that you want, the money, the clients, the house, whatever it is, it's about getting off that the box, the paradigm that we have about, what do we believe about possibility and what do you think about money too, like so there is all this energy that is almost like the curtain that hides you from the solution that is just like right outside your curtain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love this. This is so great. And I love where you just went with it. The possibilities are already all around you. You have to be a match, like you have to be at the right vibration to be able to see it. So, how do you use, and you can use it for yourself or for your clients, whatever makes sense. How do you then, I mean, for 2 years you were in this, and you use this example, so I'm going to keep going with it.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 years, you are stuck in this convoluted process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you now, hindsight, see anything that you could have done differently using Akashic Records to align with, to see the solution much sooner?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because when I was going through it, I didn't even give myself permission that that is a better solution.
Okay.
Right? I wasn't even thinking. I was just going with the flow, right? So what I could have done earlier, I could have accessed the Akashic Records of my business, the one that manages international dealings, and had asked, like, what is the best way to do it? Is there a better solution? Open up. And it's like when you are aware, just by having this conversation right now, I know some of you that are watching us is going to be like their highs are going to start showing up, and
Yes.
that is the sign that you're ready, right? So if I had done it before, I could have gone it, and I could have asked like my Akashic Records, when there is this process that we can do it, that we go to the business records business. And within there, we have the guardian that works with money, systems, marketing, and all that. So I would have gone through the international, the financial international, and open up for the solution. Now there's like many different solutions. That actually the system that I use it, now is actually doing affiliations, and which is awesome. That I don't need to have a Brazilian system to be able to have partners. So it's like all these possibilities now are available. And the most important thing is, when you go to your records, and the question that you can, especially when you learn to access your business records, is how can I simplify? It's such an important question because we like to make it complicated, right? So as soon as you notice something in your life that is not working, you can actually tune into that energy, know that this simplicity is already around you too, and just ask that question, how can I make it more simple?
How can I make it more simple? So what about people who are watching us and they're like, I've been trying, I know it's time, I want to get on purpose, like I understand all of this in my mind, everything you're saying, I get it, but I'm still not experiencing it. How can this person use Akashic Records to help them actually start experiencing it?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, when a person is saying that is because in that person's reality, in that person's world, she or he, right, created what we are talking about in the beginning, created proofs that they're not ready, proofs that the solution is not there, proofs
Mhm,
that it's hard to make money, proofs that it's hard to attract clients, right?
mhm,
So how can we work with the Akashic Records help with that is actually to giving the person the opportunity to go back to those memories where they made that agreement with themselves, that it's hard to make money, that it's hard to attract clients, that whatever they say, that Facebook ads is very hard, and whatever it is that you hear a lot, right?
yeah,
It has
yeah,
nothing to do. So many of us are having great success with Facebook ads. So
yeah.
it's just a anchor from a memory that a person created that is holding themselves, blocking them from actually see that solution.
Mhm. Do you find there is more available in Akashic Records to see, to access as we expand energetically?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's almost like it's the as I look, I've been working with the Akashic Records for 20 years, right? It's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always getting new information, and there is new depths with the Akashic Records. These the past year, as you were one of our supporters, we created this whole new body of work, which is the messages from the Akashic Records, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like the way that I feel. It's like every time there is new doors to be explored, new opportunities, new areas, we're coming up with a program exclusive to help those who coach relationship, to work with the Akashic Records in relation. So it's almost like the more I work with, the more is revealed. And it's almost like I like to see the Akashic Records, to explain the Akashic Records of this house of 1,000 rooms. Each room that you can access can give you, a new depth to your soul path, and a new opportunity, new explorations, things continue to unfold and open up. So absolutely, the more you work with, the more is revealed for you.
Wow, I love that. I love that because that's how purpose works too, in my perspective, right? Purpose works that way too. Like it isn't just like this set thing that is like, there it is, right? Four walls. This is your purpose. It's something that constantly keeps evolving, which is why I love using Akashic Records because it helps me see the next step, the next evolution of me being in purpose, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah. I
absolutely.
yeah, and I know you teach this in your class in your school. But I want you to just give like one tip, one way that somebody who hasn't been trained in Akashic Records yet, they will, because I know you'll have an opportunity to do that. Um, when they maybe are getting insights, like they maybe know something, but they're still like this, no, like I'm still in doubt. I don't believe we ever really are in doubt. I think we just don't want to believe what it is that we are getting, what we're receiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is like something that you could tell that person to to strengthen their trust and belief in what it is that they are getting, receiving?
Okay, so you're talking about someone that is starting to have, let's say, intuitive hits, or wants to learn more how to develop the intuition. And
Perfect. Yes.
so, yes, so first you need to understand that every person is different, right? Some people will, the easiest for them is to actually hear information. Some people will see, some people will know, some people will feel. And what I found that is that most people that know and feel they have a hard time to trust what comes for them, because they're knowing you get the information like in your head, and sometimes you come as a memory of something that you lived through, or a movie that you saw. And
Mm-hmm.
then most people will look at it and they're going to discount. They're going to be like, well, I just created that with my mind.
Yeah.
But what is important to understand, and this is actually all across vision, hearing, sensing, and knowing. When you start developing your intuition, think about that. It's something that your body is not used to do. You live it your whole life,
Mm-hmm.
using your five senses, and that's it, right? So when you start developing your intuition, it's almost like the intuition is a muscle, right? And in order for your intuition to communicate with you, is going to use your imagination, is going to use the that already that you're used to use. And
Mm-hmm.
because of that, a lot of people don't trust themselves. Because they're like, whoa, I seen that yesterday. And it's like, but there is a reason that your intuition pull that memory in, pull that particular, whatever it is that came to you. So in order to trust, it's really like an exercise to not self-doubt yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you self-doubt yourself, you're starting by it, through your intuition, through anything that you want to create in your life, you start already, delaying the process, because you're already, blocking yourself. And if you make a decision to, it's not happening, it's not going to happen, or then you already made a decision. So it's very important to be flexible and just, ask the questions, and trust that the intelligence of your body received everything that you needed at a time, and you will integrate and bring it to you. Sometimes the answer comes in a sign, like in a sense of, a book that show up and someone talks about, the same thing 3 times, that's a sign, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes it comes as an idea. But it's important, this beginning is an exercise. You need to practice, you need to listen, and you need to, as soon as you notice your mind creating blocks, creating doubt, bring to your heart. It's like, I like to say that your mind do not manifest anything besides a bunch of thoughts. So bring it to the heart, just trust what it came, and don't go right after, shifting the energy, because then you lose it. You're not receiving it. And anytime you're not receiving anything, but here we're talking about intuition,
Mm-hmm.
you stop getting the messages. So
I love that you said it, bring it to your heart, because I know a lot of people still go to their mind, right? Bring it to your heart, because that's where there is no room for doubt, right?
mhm,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the mind creates in polarities, right? At the same time that you want something, unconsciously you're like, whoa, but if I get that, then I don't know, I'm gonna be too busy, or I'm, whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
those unconscious fears are created. When you create with the mind, you get both. That's why most of the time, sometimes law of attraction works, sometimes doesn't, because they're not bringing to the right place.
So if you bring it to your heart, you are bypassing all those and the stories will still run, right? Because we can't start our mind. But when we bring it to our heart and just go from the heart, what heart has actually received, then what your mind says doesn't really matter.
Yes, like the mind creates in polarity, the heart creates into images and feelings. And then when you have the image and the feeling, you don't have space for the doubt. The mind is going to continue.
Yeah.
Believe me when I try, they keep going. But as long as you are aware of it and you're working on yourself and you're clearing your energy, you can, more and more you're going to see the results as you are, with clarity, purpose, and aligned, and
Mm-hmm.
taking the steps that are in front of you. It happens,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's the shift of energy.
I love that. So, how do you? There are so many schools of thought about this, and I want to get your insight into this, because you are such a manifester. Like you create on a spot, things just happen. It's amazing. Do you follow a vision where you see what it's going to look like and then you go towards it, or do you go step by step and get surprised at the end? what it actually ended up being?
That's a great question. We just deliver I do this visualization every end of the year that we connect with the word of the year,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the way that I guide the visualization is actually go into the end of next year, and we connect to the most important event of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you think about a past year and I ask you, like, what was the most important? Like, you can actually get an image and anchor that image, the most happy moment, or, whatever that is for you. So I actually guide the tribe and actually go to the end when you are actually manifesting, experiencing all that
Mm-hmm.
is in your heart. And we actually let the heart show you that. And then from that, we anchor the emotion. And that's what I go. I go for the emotion. I don't go for anything. I go for the emotion. I go, like, as I go at, like, right now that we just did that, and I connected to my moment, right?
Yeah.
So as I go forward in the year of 2020, every day I wake up and I tune into that way of being, to that,
Mm-hmm.
I call, like, identity, right? Like, who am I being there?
Mm-hmm.
And then every single day, that's what guides me. Guides me is the word and the way of being.
Mm-hmm.
That's what guides me. So
Yeah.
I actually don't sit down and say, I want to make this amount of money. I want to create this. I want to, no. First, I connect to the possibility, the best possibility possible, the
Yeah.
best available possibility. And I anchor that into my daily.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench at you. Are you ready? At the end, I know you guys already know there is a gift that Patricia will share with you, and she has something in mind. But I'm going to ask you to actually make that masterclass be the gift that you share with our audience.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
It's okay. I'll say it again. I know there is a gift that you have in mind for our audience, but I actually have an intuitive hit, and I'm going to follow it. I want you to share the masterclass.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that'll be perfect. Now in the beginning of the year, of course.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Cool. Okay, so you guys, there you go. This is how things happen, right? We're here in this conversation. We had something planned, and you're not missing out. Believe me, you will get what Patricia promised if you stick with her. I think this masterclass is going to be a much bigger game changer for where we are right now and this conversation we are in. Yeah, cool.
Sounds good. Absolutely, of course.
I love it. That's so powerful. I love it. That's amazing. And I love that you approach it that way. That's why I was like, this is definitely what I would love for you guys to experience is that creating, going backwards, but not necessarily knowing exactly what this thing looks like, but knowing that this is something I want to happen, connecting to the emotion and then letting that be your guide. I think that's just so powerful. That's so amazing. Thank you for sharing
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one thing that as a tip to continue that, after you listen to this present, when you connect to the award of the year, what I suggest is, like, the practice that I have before I go to sleep. I call my higher self. Some people like to say future self. I like calling higher self. So I call my higher self, and I talk about that desire, and as I sleep, I ask to start opening the pathways. And every morning, and one of the things is, it's in human design, I don't have the five. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but my rhythm is not to have a rhythm. So I live with my design.
Yeah.
What I do is, like, most of my mornings, they are open, in a sense that some mornings I go meditation, some mornings I do automatic writing. Like, I like to be open to create my morning as I feel inspired. And what happens is, as I put that, is like, that open desire before I go to sleep, when I wake up, usually I take the exactly action that I need to take. Sometimes it's like I remember, oh, did someone in my team did this? Send a message. So it's kind of like, it's almost like that, it helps guide that the energy of the day. It's almost like things that I forget, or something just kind of like, comes in through as I go on to the day. So this is something that I would love to, invite everybody to try, like, do the word of the year, and then practice that, asking your higher self, and then in the morning, feel what you're inspired to take, the action that you're inspired to take.
Yeah, that's really, really great, because, and it's going to require some trust, right?
Oh,
And
yes.
yet it's so powerful, because we leave space for universe to bring in their pieces to us, right? Instead of having it all figured out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's amazing. So Patricia, we're coming down to the end of our conversation. I wanted to see if there's something like maybe 2-3 minutes. Is there something you can lead us? But it's like a 2-3 minute long. That's about all the time we have. An experience that would show our audience what it's like to be in the Akashic Records, a clearing or whatever we could do in like literally 2-3 minutes.
That's a tall order. 3 minutes.
I know.
um, we can kind of like do this. We can kind of do, and I believe I'm feeling like doing this like aura activation. I think
Great.
that will be something that we can do in 3 minutes. Just this. We're gonna do like calling the healing guides and doing some pumping in the aura to attract what you wanted to attract. So let's just go for it.
Perfect. You guys follow along. Oh, I'm excited.
All right. So I'm gonna invite everybody to take a nice deep breath and close your eyes. Be present in your body. Imagine that you're seated now in a very comfortable rose quartz crystal. Make it a fun chair, but with the vibration and the essence of the rose quartz. And just by being seated in the rose quartz, you start receiving all this vibration of love, compassion, bringing that vibration to your heart, connecting to the love that is in your heart, that is getting mixed with this rose quartz love. And let's actually take a moment to give ourselves thanks. Thank you for everything that you do. The most of the time you take it for granted. The people that you help just by being you, the choices that you make, honoring your path, understanding that it's never wrong decisions, only experiences. And now let that energy in your heart start emanating to your whole body, filling up your whole body with love, compassion. As you're doing so, let's make sure that we are grounding. Imagine that out of your first chakra creates a beautiful ground cord, grounding to the center of the earth. And now we're going to invite you to open your crown chakra, and we're going to call your higher self to the top of your head. Your higher self is you with a bigger understanding of where you're going and where you go, where you've been and where you're going. So take a moment to smile to your higher self and receive your old wise soul emanating unconditional love and compassion towards you. Feeling that powerful vibration. And the healing guides are here, and they are now going to you. When you listen to this video, that's when the healing guides are coming to you. Healing guides are asking permission from your higher self to co-create with your higher self. And now we're going to ask your higher self to point out in your aura anybody else's information that is not you, people's thoughts about you, people's worries about you, no matter what the intention behind. Your aura is your sacred temple. Nobody else has permission to come and interfere with what is possible and what you wanted to create. Clearing any old ways of beings that you're ready to release in order to open up to a deeper connection with your purpose, with your desires. You guys are filling it up your aura with golden light, the highest vibration, naturally clearing the pathway so that you can be seen by those that are looking for you, and so that you can see the solution that is already around you. So now I want to invite you to think about one desire, whatever is that desire. Once again, bring your attention to your heart and just imagine inside your heart there is a particular memory of you a few days from now or a month or whatever that is. That memory is within your heart. So give yourself permission to notice everything you notice about this desire. Notice where you are, who is around you, what you feel. The healing guides are going to be holding this space for you while you hold your vision. Now the healing guides are coming into your heart and they are supercharging this vision. It is almost like the vision is getting bigger and bigger. It's almost like a pump pulsating from your heart. And as it pulsates, it starts making a pulsation energy in your aura. Almost like this, like sucking energy and releasing, sucking energy and releasing. And what it does is starting to process and release what is not in alignment with that vision and attracting opportunities, synchronicity, and people in alignment with your vision. You guys are activating the Taurus in your heart, allowing that vibration to pulsate stronger and stronger, filling up your aura, filling up your room, filling up your neighborhood. You're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And at the same time as it clears, it attracts, releases and attracts, allies, partnerships, synchronicity. Beautiful. The activation is complete. And now connecting to the feeling of experiencing that vision. Just hold your heart and anchor that vision in your heart. Take a nice deep breath. Gratitude for your heart, your higher self, and the healing guides. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes.
That was beautiful.
Awesome.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Probably was a little longer than 3 minutes, but I can't control.
So it was so worth it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. So you guys can go back and re-listen to it over and over and get supercharge your vision. And then remember, because we already shared it, there is a button right below this video where Patricia is sharing the masterclass she led at the end of 2019 to help you find the word of the year, help you anchor in the emotion of what it is you're creating. Use that, pile up on this, the activation we just had, and right?
Yes. Yes, 2020 is the year for you.
Yes, amazing. I love that. Oh, Patricia, thank you so very much for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your generosity. And you guys watching, make sure you claim the gift from Patricia. It's the button right below this video. Click the button, claim the masterclass, get into Patricia's world, to get deeper into Akashic Records and to help you use the records to create the kind of future you really, really deserve and are here to live. Awesome. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, everybody joining us today, and we'll see you in the next conversation.
You are so welcome. Thank you, Anna, and thank you, everybody that tuned in.
Bye.
Bye.